Hello again, Ian Stuckey with Mastermind Games. Moving on with the Crossroads 7 and Greed. 09047 Fair Skin. And her name says it all, really. So hopefully I can avoid some of the problems that have plagued these other videos, particularly the frame drop that's been happening as of late. Start on the flesh tone. And her color scheme is going to be fairly simple as well, so this should be one of the shorter ones. She's got bracelets on. I'll pick those out later. She has detached sleeves on her dress. And her pose brings to mind, I know I've seen that somewhere else on a specific celebrity, but I can't think of who. So I'm sure it'll come to mind at some point. Also not certain where the back on her dress is supposed to end, but I'll get it figured out, or maybe this is a sleeved dress, I'm just misinterpreting it. Oh well. The light skin tone will be easy enough to paint over, so do a little more on this left leg. It's not too easy to get it right in a single coat with this one, at least not on black primer. So there we go, that's the base coat for the flesh. Move on in a minute once that's dried. Alright, now next I'm going to go with Blonde Hair 09257. Well, in many cases I will stick to what's official for hair and eye color. There were so many inconsistencies between first and second edition Malifaux that I simply don't care anymore. If they're not going to be consistent, then why should I? So let's fight me a little. So checking the artwork, I think I did misinterpret the dress as being sleeveless with detached sleeves, so, but like I said, that's easy to fix. So go ahead and get her hair first. Oh, and Greed's faction is Guild, but like all the Crossroads 7, I believe she's got mercenary characteristics or some other rule that lets her work with the band. We'll just see what these folks end up doing in 3rd edition. Also see what happens with this new faction they've been teasing. As far as we know, there isn't even a model yet, but alright. And now Violet Red 09026. Just plugged up. I originally thought about doing a darker red. The, what is it? Deep red, red brick, blood red triad, but decided I wanted her dress to be a little brighter than that. So I got a little bit of the blonde in the brush, just need to make sure that gets out of there. Maybe should have gone with a slightly larger brush for this, but this will be fine. Carefully going around the exterior, taking care as I get closer to the skin and body. Now, in terms of what I collect with Malifaux, I started with Arcanists, then went into Outcasts, and it's one of those games where it is possible to get everything, so that's what I'm going for. After Outcasts, I went into Resurrectionists, and in short order, Neverborn, Gremlins, and Guild. And I did not get my first 10 Thunders Master until recently. So there will be very few Arcanist Masters you'll see painted here just because I've already got most of them already. Or rather, most of them painted already. I do have Ironsides coming up eventually, but it's going to be a while before I get to her. And just going to make sure I get the cloth between the legs there. Just wanting to get the edge around the legs. And I'm going to have to touch up the calf there. Maybe I can just go ahead and dilute with the water. Let's try that. Okay. That worked well enough. We'll touch up right there, avoiding the calf. Now, the bracelets I'll be doing is a jewelry, but let's see. Yeah, we'll make the boots match the dress, though I originally was thinking I'd have them in a leather color and have them mismatched, but this will probably look a little better. Okay. That's just going to leave the base, the guitar, and the jewelry, so back in a bit. Alright. Part of the dress is still dry, but I can move on. Shield Brown 09161. Carefully around the guitar. So it may be a cello or string bass, I'm not sure. Also looks more like an electric than an acoustic, but it's not really all that relevant. And the actual bass itself. Being careful around the feet. I'm going to switch to a larger brush for this. Don't be afraid to switch brushes when needed. This is again just some custom sculpting I did. Okay, so it's going to leave the strings, jewelry, and the strap. So I'll let that dry, move on, and finish up base coats. Okay, I'm going to really have to watch this because some funny's going on with my system. Not everything's completely dry, but it's dry enough to work with, so oiled leather 09110. I was originally going to put this on the boots too, but changed my mind at the last minute, as I mentioned earlier. Being really careful around the neck here. Filling in that strap. Putting on the side. And then Tarnished steel 09206. Getting the bracelets. I thought about doing the jewelry and the guitar strings in gold to help better reflect the greed aspect of the character, but changed my mind on it. The tuning pegs. Going down the neck for the strings and the frets. I think that's the terminology I'm supposed to be using here. And this spike at the base. And that's base coats. Once that's completely dry, I can start shading. Okay, things are dry enough I can start shading, so Ruddy leather 09109. About half paint, half water. Wading it into a wash. Carefully tracing the strap. And Blackened steel 09205. Since you're diluting the paint, you'll need much less than you would for a base coat. Because of how it flows, it goes much more rapidly than the base does. And with your bases, you want to go from the lowest area to highest, shading high to low. And then when we highlight, we'll go the lowest area to highest. I think I can take a risk and do the hair as well, so that'll be Blonde Shadow 09256. Trying to keep the brush away from the face and skin. Okay. Let that dry completely, then I can move on. Okay. Burgundy Wine 09025. Which is plugged up. Which is badly plugged up. Wowzers. And it's still plugged up. This happens. Just something you need to deal with from time to time. Causing a minor avalanche over here off camera. Let's try to keep in camera. And making sure to get the gap between her legs. Being very careful not to nick her skin while I do this. If I nick the brown, it's not going to show up as much, but it will be an issue if I get this on her skin tone. Will necessitate repainting before shading. That'll just leave the brown and the skin tone, which I'll have to do each of those separately, so getting there though. Alright. Next, shoot. Shield Brown 09, or no, Woodstain Brown 09160 is next. just 2 more shades and then I can start highlighting. Trying to be really careful around her instrument. And being careful around her feet as I get the base. Well, I think I might be able to get the skin tone now as well, so we'll go ahead and do that too. So, Fair Shadow 09046. Being careful not to nick her hair or to get her face and chest. Just a touch more on her face. Okay. That's shading. Once it dries, I can highlight, detail, and finish up. Okay, time to wrap this up. Pure white 09039. Let's see. Tiny dots in the eyes. And this brush is starting to go. And then pure black 09037. A tiny dot for now. Making sure I'm not dropping hundreds of frames a second here. Getting paranoid about that frame thing. Carefully dotting in pupils. And now to actually start the highlighting. Fair Highlights 09048. Dry brushing, so I'm rubbing most of the paint out on a paper towel and using no water. And lightly adjusting the area to be affected. Going against any contours or ridges to help catch the paint and make said ridges pop. And pale violet red 09027. You want your brush completely dry between coats or between colors. So fortunately I've got several, and this will want something that's ragged and feathered like this, and brushes will end up like this over time and with use, so you will get some eventually. Not too bad, all right there. Next, a dot of burnt orange 09111. And this has kind of a bad threading on the lid there. Let's see, I need a tinier brush. Let's see how this will have to do. Sometimes you're just going to have to make do with something that is less than optimal. And Driftwood brown 09162. This. I am aware I was nicking some of the metal with that on the guitar. There's not really any way around it. And True Silver 09207. Going for another fairly fine brush. Blond highlight 09258. That should do. not too bad. Now to finish up, a little more pure black, 09037. Just going to line the edge of the base, and I'll be using a flat brush for this. Okay, always make sure your brushes get cleaned out thoroughly between uses. And there we go. Greed from the Crossroads 7. Got one more model in this box set. Until then, I am Ian Stuckey with Mastermind Games, signing out. So come on, focus. Alright. It's gonna fight me on that. Alright. Well, see you next time.